Welcome back to another episode of Real Estate Renovators, the business advisory show for real estate professionals. I'm here today with my fellow co-host. Barely hanging on by a thread. Here today with my fellow co-host, everybody's favourite, Australia's #1 lawyer, Mr. Rex Afrasiabi. How are we, Rexy?
Oh, well, I'm so surprised you pronounced my name so well.
I mean, it's been 55 episodes and 4 seasons now. So
First time, well done.
Right. Today we have with us some pretty exciting guests.
Amazing guests.
Aaron and Merv. I mean Marin, sorry. Marv.
I guess so.
Fuck me.
It's on purpose, isn't it?
I know.
There's a joke behind it. But anyway, we've got some exciting guests. We're going to actually start this episode with some pretty exciting news that we've just had landed. And I'm going to pull it over to our guests to tell us. What have you just done, Aaron?
Yeah, Devil, we sold the block on the weekend, as you probably know, House 5 for a record price. And
Can we talk about the record? I think we should.
Yeah, round of applause. Well done, boys.
That's good.
There's actually 3 records, Aaron, so share all 3 of
Yeah,
them.
so one record is we got the biggest result in block history in the 18 years of all the episodes going I suppose, to air. The guys made just under $1.7 million, so that was pretty big.
Wow.
And as probably
Did they
people know,
share that with you?
They didn't, but that's okay. They're good boys, and they're pretty excited and happy. So that's been great for them, and they've been good for us. So, and as of half an hour ago, we just sold House 3.
Wow.
As you know, that passed in on Saturday, and we
So you
just
sold
sold
2 houses on the same block?
Yep.
And this is the first time in block history that another agent sold another agent's home. Is that right?
That is, I believe that's right, but I haven't looked it up.
We haven't fact-checked it yet.
I'm pretty confident it would be.
How did you do that? How did you guys do that? Before we start talking about Ray White Sunbury and your story,
Yep.
Firstly, how did you get the highest record price in block history?
Yep.
And then second, how did you sell another agent's home?
Yeah, well, number one, I suppose we actually made sure we knew these buyers from day one to day dot, and actually knew what they wanted, and we went out there and tried to find buyers with money in their pockets, deep pockets, so we can get a better price for our vendor, which is Channel 9, and of course the 2 boys, Oz and Omar, to get the best result. And it all paid off well, and the only thing was, the hard part would have been the auction order. And we didn't have that auction order. It was actually House #1 had the auction order, and they were favourites. So I did a bit of investigation work and tried to get to be #1 on the block as an auction. And we got that, which was lucky. And that's what happened last Saturday. We got first, we had all the buyers in the room, and 2 big buyers, as you guys saw on TV, and they went head to head, and that's what happened on Saturday. So yeah, we're pretty happy with that one.
And there's a little bit of controversy surrounding the purchase of...
It was, and it was probably great for Channel 9.
Yeah.
But the buyer was definitely a serious buyer, and that's the buyer that just bought House 3 today.
So he's bought 2 houses?
No, the guy that was the underbidder
okay.
bought House 3 today. His name's Adrian Portelli. So
From
he's very
LMCT Plus. I'll give you a plug, my friend.
So anyone that was, I guess, second guessing whether or not that was a legitimate buyer, that buyer has now purchased another block house through you guys. That is insane.
And that house now is going to be raffled off, but somebody's lucky enough going to be able to live in that home.
Wow.
And not have to pay for it.
Wow. Where's this raffle happening?
Ticket.
Yeah, I'm going to buy a few, I think.
Yeah, I think I might
we can't
too.
do that. We'll look like villains more, I guess. But if we actually do win
You're
it.
good at that.
Yeah.
No, that is insane. Congratulations, guys. A massive achievement. What did you do to get these record prices? So you hustled a little bit harder than the other agents.
I think we went to all the CEOs, we went to NBL CEOs, the Reebok CEO. We went down and made sure we got these buyers coming up to the block. We got Monica from Lux Listings down there with a couple of clients. We try to get as many big time people to get into that property as possible, and Marin did a lot of that. And we end up having 4 very hot buyers on that day that had more money than the other homes. And we probably just worked that a little bit harder. I shouldn't say harder, but we worked that little bit smarter to get these people that have got the money to pay more. Yeah. And that's what our job should be like.
Yeah. We knew very early in the piece that mum and dad buyers weren't going to buy this home. Locals were telling us we're overpriced. All the other agents locally saying you'll never get the money that we're sort of asking. So we had to think outside the box. I think it was 4 weeks until auction day and we didn't have 1 buyer.
Yeah, I think we had 1 from the start, but that was pretty much it.
Yep. So we thought outside the box. We were contacting people on social media, influencers.
I didn't get in contact.
OnlyFans people, just anyone who's got disposable income. I was getting told, what am I going to do with a house out in Gisborne? But we tried, and I think that was our point of difference. We actually went out there, and when we actually found these people, the boys were more than happy enough to entertain them, wine them, dine them, take their kids to the NBL, go cook dinner with them at night.
The boys did a lot for us. Like, they did a lot.
So you're almost selling an experience in the same
Exactly.
way. Were
That's
the other
right.
agents doing that, or not so much?
We don't know what they did. They're all very good agents, but we tried to do something differently, and it worked out, and we've sold 2 of them now.
Wow.
I mean, we had barbecues every other night at the house. So people got to see the house, you know, during the day, during the night.
Living it, yeah.
The boys have got a beautiful full-size basketball court and tennis court. We played, you know, 5-on-5 with the kids. Well, the parents got to experience the sunset. So we showed off the home. We believe we actually did our job, and
Almost like
a
a
lot of
try
fun as
before you
well.
buy. Yeah,
Yeah,
it sounds
it-
like a lot of fun too.
it was. And on the day, we ended up having 4 or 5 registered bidders.
Yep,
And
and-
I
Oh,
think
amazing.
3-4 days before the auction, we actually knew we had in the bag.
Yeah, we were
It's-
going to do
it's-
well. We knew we were going to sell it very, very well, but we just needed that spot 1 on the auction order, and we got it, thank goodness. And
How'd you get it?
well, I spoke to David Woods and sort of asked David, could you please put us first, because I knew it would go okay. And auction number 1 on the block over some of the years haven't done great, so I thought I'll put myself out there. Could have been bad, but
You went with your gut.
I went with my gut, and David gave me that opportunity, which I'm really grateful for David, and we got lucky and got that price.
Insane.
We didn't
Absolutely
expect
insane.
we obviously had a strategy of who we wanted in the room and how we wanted to play out.
We placed them as well. We actually placed them next to each other that we thought the 2 main buyers were. So
Clever.
did it work? We don't know, but it worked.
Well, it absolutely worked. I mean, you got a
Yeah, top two.
$1.666 million profit and the highest in block
Yeah, I can't
history.
even say how many numbers there were in that price, but they're all 6s anyway.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Let's go
insane.
to your business. It's a young business.
Very young.
Yeah.
Even before that, Rexy, how can we draw it back to where you guys started in real estate? How did that start, and how did you get to?
Well,
sorry to
I
interrupt
started
you
in
there,
real
but
estate.
get to become
okay.
Ray White Sunbury.
Yeah, I've done real estate a little bit longer than Marin. I've done it for about 22 years now. And probably my first boss, his name's Milo, which you probably know. He was my mentor, and he done so much for me, and that's why I've become okay as an agent. And I ended up moving to another firm, as you guys know, and I met Marin there probably about just under 10 years ago at another company, and we got a good relationship and friendship there, and that's sort of how we sort of met each other. And then we decided probably 3 years ago to have a bit of a chat about potentially doing our own thing.
Why? Why do your own thing? Why didn't you stay where you were?
I think number 1, I was in sales, and Marin sort of was doing BDM in rentals, so we had a good match together. I did one thing, he did the other. So that's sort of how it started.
I mean, look, me and Aaron, we always had very good chemistry. I mean, it's like total opposites.
You don't say.
No, they have great chemistry. Aaron's got a very successful career in sales, and I was the same as a BDM in rentals. And we just thought, we've got all the right ingredients to open up something ourselves and make it something special. So when we started looking for where we wanted to go, we knew we probably wanted to leave the area we were in because we wanted a new challenge. So we went down the Calder Freeway about 25 minutes to a suburb called Sunbury. It has about 15,000 homes now and is set to double in the next 10 years. So we thought if we got there early enough, we could establish our brand ourselves, and once that growth comes, we're going to be a household name. When we opened
You're
up,
already a household name.
Yeah,
it
it
happened
didn't
a
take
lot.
you, but little did you know.
It happened a lot quicker than we thought.
100%.
When we opened the doors, I think we had 3% market share.
In COVID as well, 3 months of COVID.
So we were on
So you opened it in 2020, is that right?
21.
2021.
We were onboarded during COVID. So we opened the doors July 1st and went back.
And couldn't actually get to the office.
Yeah.
Because you weren't even living in that 5-kilometre
we
radius,
couldn't
were
get
you?
there, couldn't get there at all.
Ray White, though, you're a Ray White now.
Correct.
What made you choose Ray White?
Well, we're going to potentially go our old firm, but we thought, I had a mate of mine that was at Ray White Corporate and still is, and his name is Jason Hellier, and we're very good friends, and we had a few walks around the river in COVID with Marin, and Marin definitely wanted Ray White from the start. I was sort of continuing to say the old firm that I was in, and we came to an agreement that if we got a rent roll, if we find that rent roll first, we'll go Ray White because we wanted that rent roll.
So you acquired a rent roll.
We bought a rent roll from the start, and
Against my wishes, I could have grown that within 12 months, as
Well,
you know.
number one
but,
BDM, I would assume so.
I know, but just as a bit of a safety net, we'll buy something a bit smaller
bought
just to
rent
get a
roll
little
and
bit
opened
of...
up with Ray White. And
Buy an office, or did you buy a rent roll?
So we actually bought the oldest independent real estate agency in Sunbury.
Okay.
So with that, we got...
rebranded it.
Exactly. With that, we got someone called John Serini, who's been there for 35 years.
Yep.
It was a great intro for us into Sunbury. We got to meet the principals in all the schools, the local politicians there. So it was a great intro for us. We weren't going to a new area where we know no one. Well, we were, but we were actually getting introduced to everyone.
Yeah.
So, that little money we spent on a rent roll, it probably, has paid off 10 times. So
you bought an office more than
yeah, a little office. We've tripled or quadrupled the staff there.
yeah, we started with 6, and now we're up to potentially on Monday 17 staff.
Yeah.
wow.
Just over a year, which has been great.
And when we go back to market share, when we bought it, I think they were only about 3% market share, and as of I think yesterday, we're about 16% market share.
And we want to get to 40% over the next couple of years.
Well, considering the publicity that's just happened for you guys over the past few weeks, I can't imagine that that's going to take you, too much longer now that you're a household
And the
name.
results.
And the results that you're getting
It's all
as
about
well.
results, I think. That's what happens. People
Absolutely.
look at results.
And bringing a bit of, I guess, exposure to that particular area. Because not many people, I mean, I'm sure people know about Sunbury, but not many people know where it is or what's happening there.
Properties that are priced in Sunbury.
Yeah, exactly right.
I mean,
Sorry, you go.
no, I was going to say the block obviously is one suburb away from Sunbury, in Gisborne. It's the first rural suburb of Victoria, so we're sort of on the fringe there with Sunbury and Gisborne. But we obviously do a lot in Gisborne anyway, and we're hoping to maybe potentially
open an office there very soon.
Open an office there, obviously because of the back of this as well. We've got that many phone calls to come see us out in Gisborne that way, so it makes sense to potentially be
Have an office there.
yeah, have an office there.
We were talking just before the camera started rolling, guys, about particularly about culture and how, I guess experiences you have in past positions can really sort of make or break you as a business owner.
100%.
I personally came from an environment prior to starting my business that was, it was a horrific culture. Not my last business, but a business that I'd worked in previously. And I think that was the best thing that ever happened to me, because going in now and opening up my own business, I learned exactly what kind of business owner I don't want to be, as opposed to the business owner I want to be. So how did your past experiences potentially shape you as business owners today? And what's your emphasis on culture at Ray White Sunbury?
We knew what we didn't want to do, because we've obviously come at some stage from a similar sort of culture there. So we planned that out, and we sort of looked at each other dead in the eye and said, we never want to be that person. So we made sure we put a lot of steps in place for both of us to never be able to enable us to turn into that person. And that's why if you come to our office, I mean, most people who know me, I'm one of the directors, but I'm the laugh of the office. I'll still make everyone laugh.
Someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it.
Got some interesting nicknames I hear.
There's some interesting nicknames, and you know what? I've carried that over to the new business, which I wish I didn't, but it still exists.
But I think culture is the most important part of running an office. Like, I remember when I started at Nelson Alexander back in the day, the best culture you could have under a guy called Milo, and I've moved on to another office, as you know, and the culture wasn't there for us. It wasn't the culture we wanted to be a part of, and a few other people wanted to sort of move with us. We've had a few people come with us throughout the year and a half we've been there too. So it's all about our staff now. That's all we care about. Our staff's got to be happy, and we're gonna grow and be that second office or third office down the track.
How have you created your culture? You've gone from 6 to 17 in a
Yep.
very short period of time. Congratulations. So how do you nurture this culture? How do
And
you
the
make
recruitment
sure-
as well, from 6 to 17, and particularly half of that time was during the pandemic.
Yep.
What's your recruitment strategy as well?
I think Ray White as a whole, the corporate team in Victoria, have probably helped us a lot. They've been so good for us. They've sat down with us on many times, going through this is what you need to do, because we don't know. We didn't run a business from this is our first running of a business. So they've helped us. A lot, haven't they? Really,
leaps and bounds. So look, there's a lot around recruiting not just anyone but the right fit for the office. We bought an office, like I said, that was the oldest independent office in Sunbury. That came with the oldest employees as well. So we knew from early in the piece we have to get people sort of similar to us, so we can create a good culture.
And now we're probably the oldest in the team.
I think we're the oldest in the team.
How does it work? How does the dynamics work to change a culture from 6 older people, different mindsets, different working environments, I suppose, during a COVID environment, to what you got now, which just sounds like a young,
I'll answer that very
vibrant
easily. We're non-stop, and they can't keep up. So that happens very, very quickly. It just flies past them. So we needed people around us that can keep up, and we're very lucky enough to be able to find staff who I think have been a perfect fit. I mean, we used a lot of recruiters that couldn't find us the good fit, but through
You didn't try titanium.
No, we haven't.
No,
we're putting someone through these guys.
No, of course we have, mate. Of course. One of
Little
the
late to the table that they've found the golden piece to the missing golden piece to the business, but we've found each other.
It's very true. They've given us some. They've taken some from us.
This is not true. This is not true.
Which we only found out a few weeks ago, but that's all.
That was before your clients.
Yeah,
That's exactly.
You're not a
No,
client.
I don't know about that.
Nothing's off ground if you're not a
No,
client.
that's fair game. Fair game. I'll give you that.
No, it's been good. We're putting on somebody on Monday now that we need an extra, I suppose, more room now in this office. We're going to get a bigger office pretty much soon.
Well, it sounds like you might be expanding to another
Yeah,
location
we've
as
already
well.
spoken to another office a couple of doors down from where we are now, so we might end up having 2 offices in Sunbury. Because we've outgrown our office already. It's been crazy.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Big problems to have sometimes. Yeah.
Absolutely. And when becoming business owners, did you sort of discuss prior who's going to take on what role in the business? Like, how did you sort of have these conversations when you went, hey, let's go out, let's open an office? What's the dynamic like with the two of you? And do you have plans in place as individual business owners?
I think we've already sort of done that already, like in terms of I'm the listing machine and run the sales team.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
Marin runs the business, and he runs the rental team and all the support around me. So we've got that good relationship. We have never fought in
once.
10 years, and running a business, it doesn't normally happen. So we're very happy.
How have
lucky.
you never fought?
No.
It just doesn't happen. It's just, we might yell out our sides of, what we want, but it's very quickly nutted
Sounds like you
in
don't overlap either, so you stay in your lanes.
Yeah. I mean, look, we knew very early on that, real estate is changing, and how a real estate office runs now is very different to how it did 10 years ago. Used to have a sales director who oversaw the whole department, rentals, everything, and it was just chaos. So we knew in the modern world of real estate, I mean, you need to have one leader in the office who gives support to everyone. I can't be a sales director and be able to run a rental team and also run admin. So we take that away from me and you let me do everything else. So my main role there is just to make sure everyone's happy, everyone's well supported, what we can do better for everyone, training, how else we can support everyone, and I've got that free time to do it. So that's when we go back to culture. They've got support from one of the owners, and I'm always available. So you'll never catch him, but you can always catch me. And that's the truth, and that's the one thing that our staff all love, is they've actually got someone who they can lean on anytime, night or day.
I think you guys, like, when I think about the culture of your business, it's that you can see it the moment you meet the both of you. You have this explosive energy, and you can feel this drive around the both of you. Like you hustle, but you have a lot of fun along the way.
Always having fun.
When
You
you
gotta
have
have fun.
that, it's embedded in you. So when you're hiring people, you have a team under you. They're always going to replicate the business owner. They're always going to want to imitate you to some extent, because it's and it's the highest form of flattery, right? When your staff want to be you.
100%.
But you can tell the moment that you guys walk into a room, you light it up and you can feel your energy, which obviously is reflecting in the results of your business and also the results that you're having in the block. And it's really amazing, guys. You're doing such a good job.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
How did the block come about?
Yeah, I sort of I know Tom Panos quite well, as you guys know. He's a good friend of mine, and I said
He was your auctioneer as well?
he was my auctioneer,
Great auctioneer.
and he done very, very well for us. And I've known him for many years. I've sort of done a lot with him. And I said when I opened the new business, we knew that the block was going to Gisborne. I said, Tom, I'm getting the block no matter what. It was like 16 months before the block opened, and I made sure I had to get in that door. And I got in the door, and of course Tom knew the boys from Sydney, and Tom was going to be their auctioneer from the start. And I got in there. And they met us, and they did sort of interview a lot of agents as well. But they've got two guys from the show have got young kids, and we had young kids, and we got along pretty well. And lucky enough, we got picked, and that's sort of what happened. And
So it's like an interview process? to some
It was
extent?
actually over dinner.
Okay.
Tom Panos said to Aaron, he goes, look, the boys, are ready to make a decision. They've chosen me the auctioneer, and now we need to find the agents. Go meet them. You got half an hour to see them. We saw them, and the chemistry was just there.
was great.
Do you know what I mean? It's just we're very similar, similar sort of cultures.
I'm probably Omar, he's probably Aussie, because Aussie's crazy.
and you just got along. You needed to have the lads sell your home. You couldn't have had, someone in a retirement phase, assisting you trying to sell, Oz and Omar's house. You had to be someone who thought just outside the box as these boys. And geez, they were a lot of hard work. I got phone calls saying, did you guys do much for the block to sell it? Mate, we did a lot. I think me and Aaron, we worked 38 days straight up until... Well, I think I took a day off for my daughter's birthday. Aaron took a day off to go to Oaks Day. Couldn't miss that. But it was full on.
But the boys did so much. The boys did so much behind the scenes. You got no idea what these boys did to make it. So they deserved every penny they got. Really.
I mean, all of you do. You're obviously contacting social media. I don't know about the OnlyFans, so that was contacting or whatever you're doing there. That's your business.
Market research.
But you guys went above and beyond to get those results. And I mean, I don't know what the other agents did, but it sounds like you did something really unique to not only get, one result, but, two.
But all the other agents on that block were great. Honestly, that was so good. There was a bit of unluckiness there that happened, of course, because the market isn't great right now. But the other agents were so good as well. All of them, like Marty Fox, the Gosh and Bells, Kiralee, that's a local agent, she's great. So they all did a great job. And we spoke pretty much every day or every week to those guys. We had a bit of a WhatsApp group, so everyone knew what was going on as well. Nice. But they were all very good. They were very good, agents as well.
How was it working with Tom Panos?
Well, Tom and me are sort of more friends. It's sort of funny, like we were working with each other, we were sort of talking to each other, but Tom is very smart with his auction strategies as well. And I had to tell him what was going on, and he knew every week what was happening.
Are you part of the real estate gym as well?
I am. So...
You're part of it too now?
I pay for the real estate gym. It's,
the only gym he's a part of, apparently.
But Tom knew what was going on from the start to the finish, and the way he'd done that auction, as you saw on TV, you can't beat experience, and he's got that, which is great. And
he knows how to read a room, and he read the room that day.
Absolutely.
He got, we've got a funny story. Oz's brother bought a home which was next door to Mum and Dad.
In Parramatta.
And Tom did the auction. And he goes to me, mate, that Tom got me to spend 160 grand more than what I wanted to spend. He goes, so if anyone can do that to me, he goes, I want him doing my brother's auction.
People underestimate what an auctioneer can do.
Big time.
Oh, a good agent.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Especially as the market changes.
I went a little wild in an auction once. I didn't even want the house, but I just wanted to win.
Yeah.
And I got really wild, and I was like, I want that house.
And imagine getting 5 of those in one room.
Yeah, exactly. I can imagine it. And you can see why things get so heated and how important I don't think the general public understands the art of being an auctioneer and how to really, you can be an auctioneer, you can be an exceptional auctioneer. And it's not until you're either bidding at an auction or you understand the real estate world, how much of an art form it really is. And Tom kills it every time.
100%.
Now, with the market turning, guys, are you nervous? Like, what plans do you have in place right now with a volatile market as, new business owners?
We hired heavily. We've recruited. We do a lot more training in-house. Ray White Corporate hold a lot of training here in South Bank in order to sort of understand the market and sort of put the message to our agents where their head needs to be to get deals done now. So
we talk to our vendors every single day now. Like we go to our vendors a lot.
So a lot of support from corporate.
Yeah. And also we're quite fortunate enough that in our area the medium house price is about 660 grand. So even though the market has shifted, we're still finding a lot of people are seeing value in Sunbury. Whether it be an investment property or a first home, it's still affordable compared to what the rest of Melbourne is. So, I mean, we had a quiet couple months, but I would say we're back to normal.
Yeah, we're back to going crazy. Well, we've sold probably in Sunbury this month alone. We're not even halfway through. We've probably sold nearly 15 homes. So
well, it's such a reasonable price as well. And now they've got the work from home model and people don't have to commute in as much. That whole inner city lifestyle isn't as appealing as it used to be.
We're probably lucky too. I think there's people moving out to Gisborne ways as well. So we've got more buyers coming that way. People don't want to be in the inner city anymore. Or maybe it might change again after the COVID is sort of now it's sort of done, hopefully. But
there's a new wave apparently.
Yeah,
We welcome it. Bring it on. I mean, we had our best
your
real
best
estate
months,
agents
yeah.
had their best years during post-COVID, so we'll welcome it. No, I shouldn't say that.
I don't think that the world now is going to change. I think we've permanently changed the way that we live and work in a post-COVID environment. I think a lot of it is really positive, and I think that the flexible work model, particularly inner city agencies, people don't have to travel as much. They don't have to commute in every day, so they can buy out in potentially slightly more rural areas and have a bigger house and a bigger block, and not feel like they're missing out by not living in a city or have these hectic commutes. And that's where areas like Sunbury are most likely going to boom because they're still
We just sold a
affordable.
home in Gisborne to a young couple, and they actually get a train in every day to the city. It's quick. So they've gone from East Keilor to Gisborne, visit the train line, and you know, that's what they've done.
What I want to know, guys, you're really hungry and you're absolute hustlers. What's your why? Why do you perform at such a high level?
Well, it's funny though. Tom Panos rang me last night, and he actually said to me, "Aaron, you're crazy." And I said, "No, I am. I want to be number one. I want to be number one in my area, and I'm not going to stop till I get to number one. That's my goal." And Marin thinks I'm probably crazy as well, but he said to me, I know Josh Teslon, but not well, and Tom said to me, Josh Teslon says that all the time to me. So it's like, I like that because Josh Teslon in Sydney is an unbelievable sort of agent as well. And I said the same thing as I say to Tom that he says. So I just want to be, it's not about the money, it's about I want to be number one. And
you just want that.
And make sure that we...
What does hunger look like? So a lot of young agents or agents who think they're hungry, they don't work like you. They don't
So I
way.
think
What do you do?
when you get into real estate, you've got to have a good mentor. Like I had a guy called Milo, as I've probably mentioned a couple of times, and he learned me, I taught everything off him. Or learned everything off him, I should say. And I think if you get a good mentor from day one and you know what you've got to do from day one, it's just easier to do. If you go to an office,
you got to want it before all of that. You've got to want it.
You've got to be taught to know how to do it as well.
How to do it. Some
If
people
you go to an office, it's not a great office. Well, maybe go somewhere else, like culture again. You've got to know. You've got to learn from hopefully someone very good. And if you've got that hunger, you'll get there. It's just a matter of who you're going to learn it from.
It's a passion as well,
It's a passion. I've got a young lady in the office now, Shan, and she's been with us 6 weeks. She sold one home last night, her first home, and she's actually listed 3 already, and she's been around for 6 weeks.
So
that's what I love. It's not about the money. It's about getting our young staff doing what I can hopefully teach them as well.
Look, I love the chase. You know, I love finding new prospects. I like, just chasing it and getting deals done.
Why though? What is it about it? What do you like about it?
I can't answer that. I can't answer that.
There's a mentality behind it.
I can't answer it. I think you've just got it. You're born with it. I think, one thing that, we've interviewed so many people and we look at each other and we just say they've got it or they don't. And it's hard. It's hard to, you can't even explain it.
You feel it, right?
I think it's a feeling. And you either got it or you don't.
I think they're just going to be hungry. They want to be. They want to be the best agent they can be, and if they've got that,
it's a fine line because you want to have your morals in the right place. Your
100%
authenticity in the right place. Because some agents can be hungry and go the wrong way.
You know what I think it is? I think it's about wanting to be not just the best in real estate. Because most really successful people, they're the best at everything that they do.
Well, that's
so,
exactly right.
Appearance, whether it be lifestyle, they want to be the best possible versions of themselves, including in their workplace. And I can see that.
I think if you look at real estate agents, the best real estate agents in Australia, some of these guys are ex-sports people. So they've always been the best. They want to be the best. They've got that drive. It's about the drive. If you've got a good drive,
good balance in their life.
There's a lot of good sports people that have come into our industry and killed it. A lot of people. So that's how I look at it too.
It's the discipline. The sports people come from discipline. I had a client once that only hired people and I had to ask them in an interview, do you go to the gym? Do you exercise? Do you do any form of exercise? The client specifically said to me, I need you to ask that question in the interview, not as an interview question, but just as when you're getting to know them. And if they didn't, he wouldn't hire them because he wanted people that had discipline and drive. And he found that came from the gym and that sort of lifestyle. And his whole team were all part of, like every single member of his team were gym or sports in some select, the team is actually called Titanium. The whole thing is that the team was really high performing because they all had a lot of self-discipline, which comes from other aspects of your life. So what's the plan, guys? You get to number 1 in Sunbury, then what? And then you get Gisborne up and running, then what?
Well, then that chase is over. No, look. We obviously need to get to number 1. That's our goal, and that ain't going to happen overnight because we've got established businesses there that've been there for 25, 30 years.
There's some good companies around us.
So we've got still a couple of years to get there. I think we've gone from 7th to 2nd or 3rd very quickly. I think just the next now to get to number 1 will take a bit of work.
We probably need more staff again, which we're going to do.
Would you look at organic or acquisition? Because a quicker way to grow.
Acquisition in terms of rent roll?
No, as in buying one of your competitors.
They might have to, because we're coming.
No, we'll get there. We don't know where we're going to go from here. We want to just keep building the business. Our rent roll, we want to double our rent roll over the next few years. We want to open a 2nd, potentially 3rd office. We're already speaking to about
Have you secured
with
the
other
territory
people.
with your franchisor? Secured that?
Well, I think we haven't yet, but I think they know what we're doing, and they,
The writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
Stephen Dullins, we talk about it every second week. I think about it, so he thinks I'm crazy, which I am, but I can't help myself. So that's.
Have you thought about doing the second office instead of expanding your office in Sunbury? You're out of room anyway. Why just go straight into Gisborne?
Well, that's the plan, but we don't know yet. We want to get it a bit better again, and then
Still so early.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
If Chanell finds us the right team, we'll open it up.
It's coming.
Yeah.
So guys, for our audience, right? If you're a young guy right now, 2 young guys in an office finding that you're not really appreciated, the culture's not great, and you're thinking about going out on your own, what advice would you give?
I think just do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
We had a lot of conversations saying we're not good enough to do this.
Yeah.
By who?
By ourselves, talking to each other.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's it.
But we've done this long enough to know that we could have done it, and we have done it now. And I think you just need good support around you, like with corporate Ray White, like a good brand behind you that we've got, and that's probably what's made us that little bit easier to get there.
Yeah.
I think.
So opens more doors when you go.
Yeah, I mean, we knew we were good at real estate. We knew we were never going to suffer selling homes or getting rentals. We knew that. Our fear was that we couldn't run a business, but that was. Sort of eased when we met all the guys at Ray White. They've got a corporate team of around 450 around Australia. So whatever we need, they're at our they're a phone call away. I think during the block experience and also onboarding, I've probably got about 200 people in my phone just from corporate. So if I need any financial advice or support, it's there. We had marketing teams of 20 working on the block with
crazy.
us.
Oh, wow.
Crazy. We had Dan White ring me the other day. We had Brian White come to our office
I
yesterday.
saw that.
And that's the team you want around you. Because they're the big guys, the Ray White offices, and for them to ring us to say well done or congratulations or well done for listing the block is like, gee, that's pretty good. That's pretty good in my opinion.
So after meeting, you do a road show when we interviewed a few franchises, but once we had a look at what Ray White had to offer, we knew that you can do real estate. These guys will back us.
So the real point of difference of Ray White was the support that they had on offer.
It's the support
It is
network.
the number one franchising.
It is, and we're market leaders by a good 4 or 5% over our next competitor right now in Victoria, which is pleasing. But no, definitely the support is there, and they're local as well. Everyone's been really good to us. So the advice to give to someone who was me and Aaron, I mean, we said, we delayed it for so long just because of that. I would say just go do it. You know how to do real estate, just it will all work out.
Yeah.
You can't fail, right? Everyone always needs a place to live or a place to buy, regardless of who you are, where you are. It's you can never go bankrupt in real estate.
Well,
No.
thank you guys. An absolute
problem.
pleasure. And congratulations again. An amazing accomplishment. So
It's been good.
Thanks for being on the
I can't wait to see where the next few years take you guys. I know excited to be part of the journey with you, but thank you so much for being a part of the show.
No worries.
guys.
Thanks for
Cheers.
having us.
Thank you. See you guys next time on Real Estate Renovators.